Well, let's hope this never happens.
Just saying.
Just put them away. That's all I'm saying. Nothing annoys me more than to sit here and try to teach something that I'm pouring my heart into, and y'all are like playing Words with Friends and stuff. Okay? So, just don't do that. You can have Facebook afterwards, blow it up, whatever. Okay. Secondly, number 2, besides turning off the cell phone, no eating while we're teaching. Okay? Because
That's all.
it's very distracting to people. Right above me. It's very distracting, and especially like you guys are eating something with wrappers and stuff, okay? So just, you can eat before, you can eat after, just don't eat during, okay?
We don't work on the cupcake things.
Cool? Are we done, Ben?
There's a couple more.
Okay.
You just forget it.
Permission slips, thank you. Did anyone bring their permission slips?
I
need these, guys. It's the permission slip for the Ohio School of the Blind trip that we're going to do in 2 weeks.
Do you have any more of the driver?
I have the driver permission slips up here, yes. So let me just go over that real fast while I have your attention, okay? Ohio School for the Blind, the 27th of this month, when you guys are off school, they have school, so we're doing a field trip. Anybody who wants to come can come. If you are under 18, you need a permission slip that looks like this. You can pick them up back there. I need to know tonight, even if you did not give me your permission slip yet, if you are going to come, because they are going to serve us lunch and they need to count. Okay? So I need you guys to let me know if you're planning on coming. Second of all, if you're over 18 and you want to be a driver and take people, you have a separate permission slip that you need to fill out that says basically you have a license and you have insurance and things like that, okay? So come see me if you're wanting to drive. Yes.
How far is it? Zanesville, Lancaster?
No, it's in Columbus.
What? You don't like Columbus.
Well, we're going to meet here and you guys can all follow me.
It's over by my dad's actually. North side of Columbus.
Yeah, I mean, it's like an hour. We're going to leave here at 9 o'clock in the morning. And, well, like, it's like...
Well, for me, it's 30 minutes.
Okay, well, I don't drive like a speed demon.
I already go 65.
We're going to leave here right around 9:15. We're going to stay with them, have lunch with them until 2 o'clock, and then we will be heading back here so your parents will be able to pick you up if you've got a ride right around 3. Okay? Questions on that?
Love it.
Okay. All right, now, we need to also let you guys know that the cards are back here for Allie Lyons and Chelsea Hott, who are in the hospital. Quit asking me what's wrong with them, okay? They're in the hospital. That's what you need to know. And we want them to know that we love them and we're thinking about them and we're praying for them. So please sign the card if you haven't already before you leave. There's one for each of them. Is anyone from here going to see Allie tonight or tomorrow? You? Will you take her card? Okay. And I know Chelsea can't have visitors, so I'll give that to her somehow. Okay. Birthdays. Anybody have a birthday this past week?
Sunday.
Rick! Woo! Today! Happy birthday to you. How old are you, Rick?
36.
64! You're never too old or too young to be a rise above her. Anybody else have a birthday?
Alexis.
July.
Alexis, stand up. Anybody else? Okay. been here before? Oh, stop it. If you've never been here before, get up to the front, please. Time to get embarrassed.
Newbies!
Dang, look at all the newbies. Holy Okay, quiet time. Quiet time. I want you to tell me your name and what school you go to.
Doing great. I got a shirt in middle school.
Now say it so they can hear.
Doing great. I got a shirt in middle school.
That's Dylan. I need to know if you're single. Yeah. He's single?
Oh, yeah, what's that?
He's doing that. He said he's single.
Just look at the graph. Just don't
Next
pay
we
attention.
have Haley, what's your last name?
Christian.
Christian goes to Thornville. Are you single? They all want to know if you're single. No. She's not single. Too bad, guys.
Somebody else say
She's
no
a
before
cutie,
she
ain't she?
answered.
And you are? Chris Hansen all the way from West High. Chris is single too, ladies. All these handsome men. Who's this?
My name is Nick Swigert. I go to Mideast Career
My
Technology
dude.
Centers.
And are you single?
No.
Welcome, Chris. You are?
Pre-press and I go to Sheridan Middle School.
Capri, and she goes to Sheridan. Have more of these back there for you. Hey, somebody grab me in the back one of those care packages underneath. Angie, where you're at? Yeah, Ryan under there. They're in the big brown bag. You are?
Cheyenne Taylor, and I go to Sheridan Middle School.
Cheyenne. She's gonna pass me some candy. Throw it up here. Come on, Lindsay.
That's why I ducked.
This is a bad show. Sorry. Welcome, newbies.
Brad, you're scaring the newbies.
Don't scare the newbies. All right.
Only I can scare her.
All right. Who did this week's challenge? Stand up. Stand up. Pick a prize if you did it.
Dude, she gave me a blue pixie stick.
22 last year. Who has more than one? No. Thank you.
Black and yellow! Black and yellow!
Yeah.
No, black and yellow. See what we got. See what we got. Purple, white, purple, white. Black and yellow.
Her, what she said.
Now, you guys, seriously, if you do your challenge, you get wonderful, fabulous prizes like pixie sticks and
non-toxic
tattoos, pencils, glow-in-the-dark bugs,
I still have one.
and Bubblicious, and yo-yos, and all kinds of cool stuff. You totally want to do your challenge, okay, for if no other reason than just to get a really cool.
What about people who get their bracelets this week? This
All right.
Who said that?
Pass them around and give them back to me.
There it goes.
Oh, we have one special Rise Abover who gets their bracelet today. Brad Morris. Congratulations.
That's my boy!
Let me tell you what you have to do to get one of these fabulous, hot-looking bracelets. Okay? You have to come 5 times and complete 5 challenges. That's all it takes. You too can be the crown owner of one of these. And the reason why we want these is why?
Because makes you feel good about yourself that you did something good for someone else. That was one of our sparkles.
It's actually too, if you catch yourself not rising above, getting angry, getting ready to tell somebody off or cuss them out or whatever, you can snap this bracelet and remind yourself. And trust me, it's a good thing I had mine on today because I was having to remind myself to rise above. Okay? Yes.
Don't break it.
All right. So, thank you. Does anyone else need the scissors?
Like everybody else back here.
So last week's challenge was we were supposed to draw an unlit sparkler on our hand, and each week, thank you guys, I love all of you very much. My life. As I erase all your well wishes, okay. You were supposed to draw a sparkler on your hand because we learned last week that spark means start performing acts of random kindness, okay? So we drew a sparkler on our hand, and for every act of kindness that we did all week long, we added a spark to our sparkler. So I was really happy to see that you guys decided to do that, and you uploaded some of your pictures onto Facebook. How many sparkles did you guys get? What was your high number?
45.
45. 22. 22.
How is that 45?
5
5 times 9.
Anybody else want to share?
35.
Wait, there's only 7 days.
Exactly. That's 35.
That's 35, smart one.
9.
It was a lot.
Okay.
I had some people post on there and they had sparkles galore. It looked like a big tree. So I really appreciate you guys doing that challenge wholeheartedly. I woke up the first day, I have to admit this, okay, Ben's going to sit back there and laugh. I woke up the first day, and normally I just roll out of bed and go downstairs, and I rolled over and I gave Ben a kiss before I did that. I came downstairs and he goes, "Oh, I just love that you gave me a kiss this morning." And I said, "I was trying to get a sparkle." So the next day I did, and he said, "Did you really mean that, or were you just trying to get a sparkle?" I said, "Well, you gotta start somewhere,
That's
right?"
the worst pickup line ever.
Right? Oh. So anyways, last week, I want you guys to know we had 55 people here. We had only one newbie, so it was awesome to see how many new people were here tonight. But we had 22 people do their weekly challenge, so. Before we get started, Mackenzie, where'd she go?
Not right here.
Do you want to share?
Yes.
Yes. Mackenzie's kind of scared, but she said she might do it. If you want to, now's the time.
I'll learn with you.
Let's give her a hand. Mackenzie Gallagher, everyone give her your attention.
I'll be on this side.
My game to sing.
Your birthday was fun though.
Okay, when I was 3 years old, my parents got divorced. And then I just lived with my dad in a condo with my other brother. And then for like a couple of years, and then my mom got remarried. And then my stepdad started hurting my brother. And then my mom got into it and she started abusing me and hitting my head off the ball, kicking me and slapping me and everything. But I stayed strong through it all. I stayed with my grandma and grandpa for a long time, and with my aunt and everything. Then I switched schools. I went from Maysville to Sheridan. And everyone just started calling me fat, and then found out I was diagnosed with hypothyroidism. And they didn't know I had that, and it was hard for me to go through all that and still get called. And I just ignore it and try to. Then, before Christmas, my mom, she would text me all kinds of hurtful stuff. And I would just stay in my room and draw stuff that shouldn't have drove. And then I'll just stay up there and cry. Then my dad was worried about me. And I asked him if he would take me out and see the lakes and new lakes, and that helped. But I haven't seen my mom for over a couple months. I would go to see my little brothers. But I have 2 little ones, 1 little ones. But my little brother Chase, he started being mean to me because he just listens to what my mom says. And I would go down there and get him off the bus, and he'd come up and goes and says, "Everyone here hates you." And then my mom, she would start stuff about my stepsister, and then she'll bring me into it. And then she told me to leave, so I walked at 12 o'clock at night, cleared the things with whenever I was from 22. And then she threw all my stuff away. I didn't have anything left until went to my dad's, stayed with him, and that's where I live now. And it's pretty hard for me not to be able to see my mom. So my dad's like my second mom to me. Well, it's pretty good. But then got my girls here, the boys.
Thank you.
They keep me strong.
Why aren't you up here then?
I'm fat.
So your friends help keep you strong then?
We all keep each other strong.
Good, that's what you're there for. All right, thanks.
How do you like it? My dog. Yes, my dog.
I want to tell you guys, it takes guts to stand up here and tell people all the horrible things that have happened to you, and for each person that decides to do it every week, I know it's rough, but thank you for sharing your stories, because it gets us to each know each other just a little bit better, and it also helps those of you who haven't stood up here to know that you're not alone. Anytime that you feel depressed and things, you can always stop and think of all the people that have stood up here and shared their stories and all the things that they've gone through. And you can realize that each of us have things that we have to go through. Each of us have burdens that we have to bear. And we are here to help each other through them. So I'm glad to see that Mackenzie has a lot of rise above us to help her get through things. What? Not unless Ashley Poe shows up, which she hasn't. So would you like to? John.
I have a comment on Kenzie's story.
Yes.
I was one of her first friends in 2nd grade when she came through the door, and I had a crush on her dad because he was cute. And I told her this just a couple months ago at her birthday, and she like laughed at me.
Okay. All right. I need you guys. All right, y'all. Need you to calm yourselves. It's time to get into the lesson here. All right. So, who in here knows how to speak another language?
I know.
Ladies,
I don't mind.
would someone like to show me? Brad, yeah.
I can count up to 10 in 3 different languages.
Karate and Spanish.
Well, I can do it in Spanish. Spanish doesn't count. What else can you do it in?
Japanese.
Japanese.
Okay, do it.
Hitch, ni, san, chi, go, roko, suchi, hachi, ku, shu.
Very good. Anybody else know any other languages that they would like to share something? Sign language? What can you say in sign language?
School appropriate.
Do something and then tell us what it means. I love you too, Caitlin. All right.
I know happy. It's like. It is. It's like you tap your chest and fall out.
Okay, so what would you guys say if I told you I was going to teach you 5 languages tonight?
I'd say Rosetta Stone.
Rosetta Stone.
This one can speak 5 languages and she's only 6.
Dang. Okay. Let me tell you, I am going to teach you guys 5 languages tonight in this one meeting, okay? So put on your listening ears, because here we go. Now, first of all, have you ever had someone tell you that they love you and you just don't believe them?
Yes.
Yeah? Okay, why? Why do you not believe them?
Because they don't show it.
Why?
Because in their voice it doesn't really sound that like they really love you, and they don't really show it like when you're around them and stuff.
They don't really show it? What else?
Because you might have heard it so many times and it just brushes off your shoulders.
Okay, so it's your perspective. What else?
How they've treated you in the past.
How they've treated you in the past. Okay. Anybody else?
They only be for 2 days.
Amanda?
Say it all the time.
They might say it all the time to everybody. Yeah, right. Okay. Let me tell you that love has a language. Love has 5 languages. Okay? Tonight you're going to get to learn to speak love in 5 languages. Alright? Now, what makes you feel most loved? Caitlin. If somebody did something to you, what would make you feel the most loved? What would it be?
I don't have much experience.
Okay. Waylon, what would make you feel most loved?
Me?
Yeah.
Being hugged or be surrounded by the people I love.
Okay. Hugs.
Hugs.
Okay.
What else? Anybody else care to share? There's got to be something other than just hugs. Yes. Okay. Appreciation. Right? What else? Amanda. What? Presents. Yes. Somebody gives you presents. Lots of people give you presents today. What else? Anything else?
What makes you feel loved?
What makes me feel loved? Glad you asked. When somebody cleans up the kitchen for me.
Then,
Okay? Yeah. So, let's talk about these love languages. First of all, you guys have really kind of hit on almost every single one of the love languages by telling me the different ways that you feel loved. Now, someone cleaning the kitchen for me, if I went and cleaned the kitchen for Caitlin, that might not make her feel very loved, because she doesn't care about having a clean kitchen. Okay? Or if hugs make Waylon feel loved, maybe somebody else is uncomfortable with hugs. I hug some people that come in the door and they're just like, oh, are you kidding me, woman? What are you doing? Okay? Not everybody likes that physical touch, right? Some people, presents. Getting presents makes you feel loved. Other people, someone can give you a present, you don't really care. Just like, okay, thanks, whatever. Okay? So these are different ways of feeling and sharing love. Yes?
Food.
Food is a good one, yeah.
Ashley brought me food all year.
The reason why different things make us feel loved or not so loved is because we all have different love languages, okay? There are 5 love languages, and everybody has a primary love language, which means it's the way that you feel most loved, okay? So we're going to go over these real fast, and I'm going to tell you what they mean.
Affection.
Oh yeah, so right.
Oh.
Okay? Words of affirmation. Alright? If this is your primary love language, okay, this is one of my big ones. Alright? I like to hear how much people love me. I like when people write me poems and sing me songs and things like that. Let me tell you something. Ben is not good at that. Okay? That is not his love language. He likes to show love in different ways. Okay? But this is one of my very big ones. This really, really makes me feel loved. Now, it's not just to hear I love you. It's when someone shares the reasons why they love you, okay? If someone cared enough about me to say, you know why I love you? Because you're this, 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 and this. You know, you make me feel great about myself or whatever, okay? Knock it off, people. All right. Now, while I'm teaching you about love, I'm also going to teach you about the fact that if this is your primary love language and you really like to hear how much you're loved, when someone tears you down using words, that's going to hurt you more than it would hurt somebody else. Okay? So when Ben says something hateful to me, not that he does, bless his heart, I love him. But if he would say something really, really hateful to me, or scream at me, or write a bunch of mean things about me, that would really, really, really hurt me very badly, because that's one of my love languages. So it works two ways, okay? You can either show love in that language or take away love in that language, okay? Those are the things I want you to get out of that. The second one is
Quality things.
quality time. When you spend time with somebody without the TV on and without watching whatever you have on your Facebook and this, that, and the other, when you're out to dinner with somebody and you're giving them your complete attention, okay? For some people, that really, really makes them feel special, that you would put away your phone to spend time with them. That you would cut time out of your day to sit down and go to the movies with them or whatever it is, okay? Quality time is one of Ben's primary love languages. He loves when I sit down and watch TV with him. I hate to watch TV. I hate it, okay? But I sit sometimes and watch TV with him just because I know that it makes him feel loved, that I take that time and sit with him, okay? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Now, being there for somebody whose primary love language is quality time, being there for them, putting down your fork and listening to them while you guys are having a meal together or whatever, giving them eye-to-eye contact, that's what's going to make them feel the most loved, all right? Now, to feel unloved, what were some of the things that maybe I would do to Ben that would really make him feel unloved?
Cut the TV cord.
No, it's not what I'm looking for. Ignore him.
Laugh your music, start dancing.
How about if he was in the middle of talking to me and I just got out my phone and started texting to somebody? Yeah, okay, yeah. Or if you break dates with them, if you promise that, oh yeah, man, I'll be there. We're going to go and we're going to do this, and then you never do it. That really, really, really is hurtful to someone whose primary love language is quality time. Okay? Third one. Receiving gifts. Alright. No, receiving gifts. Okay? I happen to know that this is one of Kyla's primary love languages. She loves to give presents and to receive presents. Okay? Not just presents. She likes to make cards for people, and she gets a lot of joy out of giving someone something. I can tell that Ashley Connolly is one that loves receiving gifts, because every time there's a holiday, girl's got something for me. Every time she walks in the door, okay? She likes to give gifts. That's the way that she shows love. Okay? Now, if she would bring me a present and I would be like, oh, thanks, and put it down and just walk away, how's that going to make her feel? Hurt? Right.
Where's the
Okay?
receipt?
Because that's the way that she shows love, but it's also the way that she receives love. Okay? So one of the best things that someone could do for her would be to really pick out a gift that they know is going to mean something to her. It's not just going at the last minute on Valentine's Day and looking through all the pick-through cards and, oh, this one's good enough. Here you go, babe. No. Okay? For someone whose primary love language is receiving gifts, it means a lot to them that you take time to pick out the proper gift. You make time to think about what it is that you give them. Okay? It means a lot to them when they get something, and it also means a lot to them when you give them something. I mean, when they give you something. Yeah. Okay. Also, another thing that would really hurt this person, if I forgot her birthday or anniversary or something like that and it didn't mean anything to me, she's going to be crushed. As opposed to, if someone forgets my birthday, I'm just going to be like, psh, whatever, I don't care. Because that's not my primary love language. I might be a little bit hurt, but I'm not going to be crushed like she would be. Okay? Does that make sense for you guys? All right. Number 4.
Acts of service.
Okay, that's another one of my big ones. Acts of service. What's acts of service?
Doing something for them.
Right. Doing things for someone. Vacuuming the floor. I love that Ben vacuums the house when it needs to be. Okay? Now, what I would most like to hear, if I am a person who loves acts of service, is if Ben would come up and say, what can I do to make your life easier, honey? Let me do that for you. Okay? I'll wash the dishes tonight. You sit down and rest. Okay? Something like that. And he does say those things sometimes. Okay? Now, what would be something that would be negative, that would really hurt me?
Trash in the house.
Trash in the house, what else?
I make them do it themselves.
Okay. How about laziness?
Oh.
Yeah, oh my Lord. Let me tell you people, when Ben sits on his butt and watches TV and I'm slaving away, sometimes I get really mad. Not always, but sometimes I'm like, he's in there resting and I'm working like a workaholic. I'm there to do this, you know? And I wouldn't even say nothing to him half the time. I just get faster and faster with my vacuum in, you know? Just, I can't believe him, you know? He's in there just watching TV like not even knowing what's up, okay?
And it makes me remind me that I walk the floor and then someone tracks in mud.
Yeah, exactly. Because you worked really hard and that's important to you. Now, if someone tracked in mud and they came in and said, I'm so sorry, I know you worked really hard on that, let me wipe it up. Would that make it better for you?
No.
Okay, yeah. Because that would show, this is important, that would show Amanda that although they tracked in mud on her floor, they're sorry that they did it and they take her feelings into consideration, okay? So it's not all about, you know, how can I be your slave? Sometimes it's just about how can I just take into consideration what you've worked so hard to do. I'm not here for you to be my slave. Let me help you. Let me do that for you, okay? All right. Or broken commitments. If Ben would tell me, you know what, honey? You go out and get your nails done tonight. I'm going to take care of the house. Don't you worry. I got it covered. And then I came home from getting my nails done and he's still sitting there with his feet propped up watching TV. That would show me that he didn't love me very much because he obviously did not care that I wanted that stuff done, right? Okay, so that's a way of showing love too.
I worked hard on this and you get your nails done.
Okay, time out. Time out. Boys, listen up. This is for my boys. Learn this, learn it well, never forget. Okay? Because just because you work hard at your job does not mean you love your woman. Okay? Listen. This is so important, you guys. This will save you guys so many problems in your marriage to come, okay? When you are trying to get with a girl and you love her and you want to have a relationship with her, okay, and you're doing all the right things, okay, when we are in love with somebody to begin with, we speak all 5 of the love languages. We do everything we can possibly do. It is easy, okay? Then, once you catch them, it's like, oh, I got her now. I don't have to worry about that, okay? So, let me just tell you, that doesn't work. Just because you go to work every day does not make me feel loved, okay? As your wife or girlfriend or whatever. Now, it goes the opposite way. Stop and think about this. If I told Ben, honey, I went to work all day long today. Don't you think I love you? He'd be like, shh, woman, get out there and make me some dinner. You know? Like, he is not going to feel loved because I went to work. So it doesn't work the other way around either. Okay, just so y'all know. All right, number 5. Just one of you guys learn that real quick. This is what Waylon talked about, physical touch. Now that does not have to be, oh yes, no. Okay? I'm talking about when I come and see you guys and I give you a hug, or I give you a fist bump, or I'm like, oh my gosh, look at you, you're so cute. You know, and I touch you in any way, okay? When you do that, that shows someone that you love. I'm sorry, did I mess you all up, honey? She's like, you know. Okay, so I'm not marital love or anything. I'm talking about touching somebody in a way that is not punching them, okay? You can, if I come up and be like, dear, aw, that just, okay? Alright. That's physical touch, okay? Yes, Caitlin.
What if your mom doesn't like getting hugged or touched in any way, and the only way to
Hug
show
her more.
affection to her is to punch her?
Okay, if she doesn't, this is important, good question. If your mom does not like to be hugged or touched in any way, obviously physical touch is not the way you need to connect with her, okay? That's not her primary love language. One of these other ones would work better.
We together, then she yells at me.
Okay, listen, you'll learn something here real quick. Yes, wait.
What? Oh, like, that happens to my mom sometimes, so I just hug her more so she can't hit me. I squeeze her tight until she's like, I give up.
Okay, listen, physical touch has a bad side too, okay? Somebody who loves physical touch, this happens to be one of Ben's too. He loves when I watch TV with him, but he loves it more when he can lay on my lap and I rub his back. Oh, he's like a dog. He's like a dog. He lays there like the whole time. Okay? Yes.
Little kids. Thank you. When like little kids are in like kindergarten, like and they have a crush on somebody, like they like poking them, and poking them, and pulling their hair, and
And
that's how they show it to them.
And actually, do you realize little newborn babies, they will die without physical touch, okay? Everyone needs some sort of physical touch. And whether it's just, somebody at work, they come up behind you and they say, oh, how are you doing today? And they just touch you on the arm, okay? It doesn't have to be anything like, I love you. I mean, it can just be something as simple as touching someone on the arm to let them know that you're there. Okay? Now, the bad side of physical touch is, if someone who their primary love language is physical touch, what would be some way that you would really be able to hurt them?
They try to give you a hug.
Right. If they try to give you a hug and you're like, don't touch me. Or if you would punch them, abuse them in any way physically like that, those kind of things. If you would slap them across the face, that would be totally hurtful to them. Okay? Yes. Your grandparents what?
Like when you come to the door, like your boss will like help and say hi to our families, like give them hugs and everything. And they get offended if you don't.
Right. And a lot of families are that way. My family is very huggy, touchy-feely, but Ben's family is not. I mean, I don't think I've ever seen him hug his dad. So, and I hug my dad all the time. He's like knocking me down with hugs. So it's a lot of it is how you're raised. However, if you're raised without a lot of physical touch, and physical touch is one of your primary love languages, you end up feeling unloved.
I hate it when you hug somebody and they're like, what the heck? I hate that. It's one of your friends too, and they're like, why are you hugging me? I hate that.
Well, not everybody has that physical touch.
I know that you love to hug them, and you're trying to no, I missed you, and they're like,
well, I can see how you and Brad get along very well then, because Brad is a very physical touch person. I can tell by the way he gives me hugs, and you're always loving up on him and stuff, so he likes that. And you're obviously that kind of person too. Yeah.
It's if you go up to one of your friends that that the physical touch or whatever, and you go hug and say that you miss them, and they're just around one of your friends that don't like you.
I hate that.
And they'll be like, okay.
Right. So each of these, although they have potential to show love, you also have potential to deny love. Okay? Now, I want you guys to think for a little while. Not everyone one speaks the same love language primarily, but we do all speak all 5. I'm sure that there are times in your life that you can think of that you've done each one of these, right?
I remember 6, a Waylon.
Okay, so every one of us have done one of these at one time in our lives, okay? Like I said, when you first meet somebody and you're all in love with them and whatnot, chances are you do more of those love languages. And then when the time wears off, you go into what's comfortable for you. What is your primary love language, okay? So what happens is, Ben and I have been married for, what, 9 years? We've been together for 9 years. We've been together for 9
Stories now.
Okay, so when we were first together, it wasn't no problem at all for me to sit on the couch with him for hours at a time and rub his back. I was like, oh,
When Jersey Shore came on, she walked away.
I sat there all the time. And then it wasn't no problem at all for him to write me a love letter every day and all this kind of stuff. But then when we got married and the newness wore off, all of a sudden for me, I had better things to do than to sit there and watch TV. And he had better things to do than to write me a love letter every day. Okay? So now we have to work at that. Since we know what makes the other person tick because we've talked about this, we have to concentrate on, even when we don't feel like it, Ben goes upstairs every morning and he writes me an email. Every morning. Okay? Because he knows that I like that. I know I'm embarrassing the crap out of you today, ain't I?
Here.
I'm trying to make you sound like you're a really...
You're making him sound bad.
I usually rag on you, but no, tonight you're getting props, man. So, okay, what, Waylon?
Like, when I was younger, like, when I get in trouble, I'd like write my mom letters and stuff saying I'm sorry. And like I would wait 5 minutes so she could read it, and then I go younger. And then I'd go to my friend's house and say that.
And did that work with her?
Sometimes.
Let me tell you, that's funny that you said that because Lauren did the same thing to me. Lauren was a writer. I happen to know that words of affirmation was one of hers. She really liked to write. And she did the same thing. Whenever she would get in trouble, she'd be in her room writing it all out, you know, and then she'd give me the apology letter, and it usually did work with me because that's one of my love languages. It didn't work with Ben, okay? It worked with me. Caitlin.
So when I write my mom this apology letter, she's like, see what you're doing? You're just trying to get me to feel bad.
Okay.
Halfway stop.
There are, let me just tell you, I know that you have a lot of struggles with your mom. There are 5 love languages, not 1, not 2. You gotta keep trying. You gotta keep trying. Okay? With anybody. With anybody. Yes.
Like, me and my brothers, the way that we would show, like, our love for each other is, like, beat up on each other. And that's kind of, like, wearing off on me and Brad. Like, I mess with him. And I don't, like, physically, like, punch him or anything. But I just... I do things he hates to him because I think it's cute and funny, his reaction, but... I don't know.
The scream.
You say you don't need bruises.
No, Waylon said that. I didn't say
I said you do need bruises.
Okay, but Katie, you know, and you two can talk about this too after tonight, about what, actually I want each of you, if you have a boyfriend or girlfriend, to sit down and talk about it after tonight's lesson and say, you know, try to figure out what your primary love language is and what your boyfriend or girlfriend's is. Because it's going to help you to relate. Okay? Now, I also, if you only give love in the one love language that is yours, yo, people. If you only give love in one love language, okay? If all I ever did was tell Ben that I loved him, and I never sat down with him, and I never rubbed his back, is he going to feel very loved? No. No. Even though I might love him, and I might think that I'm telling him all these wonderful things and that he must really know how much I love him because I say it all the time. If I'm not speaking the language that he understands, he's not going to feel it. Okay? That's why it's important that if you have somebody that you have a relationship with, doesn't have to be boyfriend, girlfriend, it could be your mom, your dad, a teacher, even somebody that you have a difficult time with at school, maybe a bully. Okay?
Yeah, I'm going to give my bully.
I know you guys are like, oh my gosh, what do you want me to do? Do this, like, to my bully? No, listen. Listen, this is important. If you have somebody that picks on you in school and they are constantly wearing you down with words, what can you draw that conclusion from them?
Like words.
Words is going to be what works with them. So instead of hurting them more with more hateful words, you can try to use some words that are positive with them. Maybe write them a letter and say, I don't know what kind of problem you have with me, but I really don't want to have a problem with you. Let's try to work this out. I mean, a lot of times if someone doesn't work with a conversation, but it can work if you write them a letter. People that are words kind of people respond to letters. Okay? Yes?
What if they can't read?
They can't read.
I'm sorry, little baby, for throwing me already.
I just can't tell you how to spell.
Yeah.
Okay, so, all right, you can really stop and think about these things and use them not only with the people that you have trouble getting along with, but people that you're very close to, or people that you're not close to and you want to become closer. Okay, say you're not close with your mom, but you really want to be. Okay, the best way to do this is to take, it's actually going to be our challenge this week. One day of each week, or one day of the week coming up, it's going to be Words of Affirmation Day. You're going to pick a person who in your life you have a struggle getting along with them. Okay, doesn't matter who it is, somebody that you have a struggle getting along with. And what I want you to do is, when I put it on Facebook, hey guys, today it's Words of Affirmation Day. Get out there and get it done. You are going to use your words that day to try to show love to that person. Okay? And then the next day, maybe that didn't work. Maybe they're not a word kind of person. So the next day I'm going to say, hey guys, it's quality time day today. And you're going to make a specific concentrated effort to spend some time with that person that you wouldn't normally do. Okay? Something that would make them feel special, even if it's just watching TV with them or having lunch with them or something like that. And then the next day, if that didn't work and they still don't like you, okay? I'm going to say, guys, it's receiving gifts day, and you're going to make them a care package, or you're going to buy them something that you know that they would enjoy. Okay? You get the gist here?
Yeah.
Okay? We're going to go through each one of these for the next week. And we're all going to do it on the same day. And then that way I know you guys are working on your words of affirmation that specific day. Okay? When we go through these each and every day, you're going to discover what works and what doesn't work. Okay? And when you discover what works, you're going to try to stick with that person. Okay? Yes?
This is starting this Monday because we don't have school.
No, it'll be starting tomorrow.
Or Friday.
Tomorrow. Yes?
What if you're
It's our 4-day weekend,
What?
right?
your kids on Facebook?
Are you allowed to get on our website?
Oh, yeah.
Got your back.
I'll put it on the website. Yes.
What if we can't do this with the same person every time? We can do,
Why not?
it's Kyler. I mean, that boy picks on me in
Those
English
are
class, I'm
Kyler.
telling you.
Kyler's
He
mean.
is mean to me. Him and Dylan. So rude. They use so many mean words.
Okay.
He
So
used
maybe,
big words like because and the.
maybe words are the way that we need to connect with him in a positive way.
I know, but like other ways, like,
Okay.
I don't want to touch you.
Physical touch. Like I said, sometimes all it needs to be is if he's wearing a hat that day, be like, dude, what's up? You know? Seriously. I'm sorry.
Tyler doesn't like that.
Okay? Seriously. It can be something as easy as when you walk by and say,
Hi.
you look nice today. Okay, so you guys get that? It doesn't have to be a hug, it doesn't have to be a kiss. No. Something as easy as just fist bumps.
Fist bump it.
Okay? Anything like that. Messing their hair up a little bit. You know? Just something that's going to, now I'm not asking you guys to do this to like the person who wants to beat you down if you touch them, okay? I understand that. Alright? Use some common sense here, okay?
Love your hair.
Also stop and
Oil
think.
just adds to it.
Stop and think though. We talk a lot about dealing with our bullies. Stop and think about the fact that
She gave me the eye.
Stop and think about the fact that sometimes bullies are deprived of love in other portions of their life. Okay? We've talked about this a lot. Somebody who bullies you, it may be because they're being bullied by someone else in their life. It may be because their parents never give them words of affirmation. And that's their primary love language. What if your primary love language was somebody telling you that you're an awesome person, that you did a great job, and all they ever did was beat you down with words all the time? Okay? This was something that Lauren struggled with a lot. One of her primary love languages was words of affirmation, and every time that you told her that she was doing a great job and you were proud of her, even if she didn't do that great of a job, you could say, you know what? You did great with those 2 A's and a B. You'll get them next time on the D. Not a problem. I know you're working hard. You're a smart girl. I've got faith in you. Something as little as that made her feel loved. Okay? So what I'm trying to get with you guys here is that when you are bullied by someone, a lot of times it's because they've been deprived of love in one of these or all of these ways. You don't know what somebody else's backstory is. Okay? So maybe showing them a little love in the proper way will help soften them up a little bit. Okay? We're all about trying to show the love, right? This is Valentine's Day. That's why we're talking about love today, okay? Rise Above is all about love, y'all. Right? What's our mantra? Skip the hate. Run along, make kids, run along. That's right. Skip the hate, spread the love. Make the choice to rise above, right? So it's more than just ignoring someone when they pick on you. It's spreading the love too. Okay? And that means even to people that you don't think deserve it. I want to tell you, somebody that's in my life that I wish they weren't in my life did something really horrible, and I was really upset about it this morning. And the more I thought about it, the more I thought that person really needs somebody to do something nice for them because they're really a hateful person. And instead of me being hateful back, I'm going to do something nice for them instead. Okay? And trust me, it is not easy. Okay? All I'm going to do is punch them in their head. And that is not going to happen because I'm a rise abover. And I want you guys to do the same thing. Okay? If I can do it, so can you. Now, a couple more things and we'll be done. Yes.
I want to say something about physical touch.
Yes.
Be very careful there. Okay? Some people don't like that. And sometimes even when I touch somebody or I talk to somebody, maybe I counsel with somebody, I'll just maybe tap them on the shoulder, back and back, or to show compassion. Some people don't even like that. And especially if you're working with someone of the opposite sex. You have to be very careful.
You gotta say good game.
Okay? And their body language will let you know how they respond to you. And if they accept that and everything, then you can go a little further. But you can't take it too far. You have to be very careful that you can get yourself into trouble.
Right. Yes.
I was gonna say, before you like you sneak up on somebody, pat them on the back or something, say something first so they don't hit you.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
You're showing your love and compassion for that person.
Sorry. Right. Okay. Can I get your attention just for a little bit longer? Okay. This will be a skill that you guys should remember your entire life. This is not something that you just need now. This will help you in your future. It'll help you with your marriage. It'll help you with your job. It'll help you in life in general if you can remember these 5 things. Because if you meet somebody and you give them the attaboy and you're doing the physical touch thing and it just ain't working, you're going to have this in your mind to be like, you know what? Maybe I'll just do something for them instead. Maybe I'll send them a card and tell them how much I care about them or how much they're appreciated. Maybe I'll run the sweeper for them, if it's your parents or something like that. You're going to be able to draw on this stuff for the rest of your life. So it's real, real, real important that you guys get this in your memory bank, okay? Let me tell you, there are a lot of times a lot of times that you don't feel loved. How many of you guys have ever felt not loved before? Okay? I'm going to share something with you. There are always going to be times that you're going to feel that way. Okay? Everybody has inside them what we like to think of as a love tank. It's like a tank to a car.
I love that.
Okay? What do you got to put in your car to get it to go? What goes in the tank? Gas. Now,
$80 a month.
you got a love tank inside you. Guess what? It gets empty too sometimes. And if nobody's filling that love tank up, pretty soon you're so empty you're depressed and you feel unloved. Okay? Let me tell you that people in your life are going to fail you from time to time. It's going to happen. Fact of life. I don't care how much you love somebody. I don't care if they've never let you down clear until now. They will.
Yep.
Okay? They're human. That's a human thing. We all let each other down from time to time. Okay? That's when you need to reach inside of yourself and get what's inside there. You realize that you have it inside yourself. You need to also realize too, and here I go, disclaimer, I know all of you are not Christians, but I am, so I'm going to tell you, God loves you. And He always will. Even if you never believe that He's there at all, He loves you. And that's one thing that keeps me going strong. On days like today, when I feel very unloved and very angry.
We love you.
I know you guys love me. But I'm able to get my sense of worth from the fact that I know that God loves me. Okay? So that's something that's really important, that you're able to reach inside of yourself and pull down whatever is inside of you that keeps you going. Don't make it dependent on what someone else says about you.
Right.
Okay? My sense of worth does not come from whatever Waylon says about me. All right? My sense of worth does not even come from what Ben says about me. Because Ben could walk around and leave me tomorrow. Okay? I've still got to be okay. I've still got to know that there's love on the inside of me, and it's got to come from inside, and it's got to come from God. Okay?
Beautiful.
Because God loves me even when I don't love myself. I want to say, love yourself, but sometimes it's hard to love yourself. How many of you guys have had problems loving yourself before? Yeah, I have too. Now stop and think about the fact that when you feel like you can't love yourself, the people who show you love and remind you how to love yourself are the ones that really do care about you. Those are the ones you need to keep close. Okay? The people that can love you when you don't even love yourself. Questions on the lesson? Nope. Okay. So you guys understand the challenge for this week?
Yeah.
Yes. Awesome. So tomorrow is Word Affirmation Day. And I will put that on Facebook so you guys can use your words. If you don't want to say it to someone's face, you can write them a letter, send them a text, send them something on Facebook, okay? I found what works really well is sending them a card. I'm a card sender. And I can't tell you how many times people have said, you know what, I was having a really horrible day and then your card came in the mail. People don't get anything but bills in the mail these days. They would love to get a card, okay? So tomorrow, you think of any way that you can to use your words to uplift someone. Tell them they're worth something. Tell them not necessarily that you love them. If you don't love them and you just think that they're a good person, tell them that. Tell them what kind of contribution that you think that they make to society. It could be someone like the janitor at school, I bet you he doesn't hardly have anyone ever tell him that he does a great job keeping school clean.
I tell the janitors that too.
Okay, well what I'm trying to say is there are people out there that have thankless jobs. There are people out there who would love to be told that they're doing a great job. There are people out there who would love to be told that their hair looks nice today. Or that you noticed they had a new pair of shoes on. Okay? So that's the challenge for tomorrow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Should I say it?
If you brought money for Hope for Hunter, please put it in the basket that's going around. Oh, and for those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, we are collecting $1 every week. If you can remember to bring $1, it goes towards finding a cure for muscular dystrophy. Hunter Nicely is the best friend of one of our Rise Abovers, and we have a team that's going to go on a walk on March 24th to raise money for that. So this is the way that we're helping. Before today's going around, we have $157 that we've raised so far. So. All right. This week, on Friday, if you guys pray, I would appreciate you praying for me, because I am going to Mid-East Career Center and I'm going to pitch the Rise Above program to their staff. So I'm not allowed to have anybody. I have one person.
I'll just say I'll be there.
What did you say?
I go to these.
So anyway,
I'll be Dick for the day.
I'll let you guys know how that goes and everything, but we're going to be trying to help them kick off their anti-bullying program by sharing ours with them, okay? Now, the following Monday, not this coming up Monday, but the Monday after, Monday, February 27th, is our field trip to the Ohio School for the Blind. Like I said, if you're going to come, you need a permission slip. How many of you are definitely, for sure, coming? Raise your hand. 1, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, we are.
Brad,
Wait a
you
minute.
guys going?
Keep your hands up, please. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, 13. Right? Okay. Thank you. Okay. Now, that's February the 27th. Now, that week is going to be a busy one for us because we have, thank you, we have Monday the 27th, which is the field trip. Then on Tuesday, we have our regular Rise Above night, which we are going to be passing out tattoos, temporary tattoos. And we'll be asking you on Thursday of that week, which is the 1st, is Lauren's birthday. We'll be asking you to do a purple out that day. Wear your Rise Above stuff, wear your tattoo, anything you can find that's purple. If you don't have a purple shirt,
Purple paint.
wear a purple ribbon, wear anything you can find purple. Okay? Yes. March 1st. Hey. Yes. Yes, I was going to say that next. That week also, okay, Kate came up with a wonderful idea of something we could do that would be special for Lauren's birthday. I would like for everyone to start bringing in pictures of things that remind you of Lauren or that make you think of Lauren. If you didn't know Lauren, it can be a picture of something as simple as something purple, because purple was her favorite color. Something that has to do with Rise Above. Those newbies that are here tonight that don't know who Lauren is, she was my daughter, and she was killed in a car accident over this past summer. She's the reason why this group exists. She was bullied a lot while she was alive, and nobody did anything about it. And so this is what we're doing about it in her honor. That's her in that picture right there. She took that picture of herself. And she's in all these pictures up here too, but she was a beautiful girl, and I don't understand why in the world she'd be bullied, but then again, I don't understand why anyone would be bullied, because all of you are beautiful.
You're beautiful, her.
So, in Lauren's honor, if you guys would please just bring a picture. We're going to make a collage, and we are going to hang it in her bedroom. Because Brittany's going to be moving out in the next few months when she has her baby and stuff, and Lauren's room is going to be kind of empty. And I am kind of thinking that I'm probably going to be pretty sad when that happens, so it'll help me to have a nice big collage in there of everything that is special to you guys that reminds you of her. Okay? Questions on that? I'll bring a big poster board and we can start doing all that. Thank you for Katie for that wonderful idea. have next month, we will be having a movie night. Since we have this nice big TV, now we can show movies. So, I want to kind of get a feel for what would work best for you guys. Would you like to do it on an evening that we have Rise Above, or would you want to have it like on a weekend when we can come in the evening? Weekend!
I would say Rise Above, so like.
Okay, raise your hand if you'd like to have it on a weekend. So everybody raise your hand. And raise your hand if you'd rather have it instead of a Rise Above meeting. Okay, sorry, you guys are out.
Thursday.
We won't. It's okay. I'm still thinking about when it's going to be. Alright? So we'll be coming up with that and letting you know sometime in the near future. But we will have popcorn and all that kind of stuff, and it'll be good. I've got a lot of really good movies that people have given me that have to do with bullying that we can show. So I hope that you guys will really enjoy something like that. Okay? Yes?
I have a movie, Cyberbullying.
We have it too. It's actually on Netflix, so we got Netflix. Any other questions? Okay, feel free to chow down. Love you guys.